I mean, it has been a tough year. It's been a weird year. It's been a weird couple of years, let's be honest. And I think for our community, people have struggled. They've struggled for a number of reasons, but certainly anybody who was already struggling mentally, this past little while has just been too much of a test. It's been really hard on folks. So we've been busy as a result. We're thrilled with how things have gone over the last year for us at MiND-Aid. We knew we were needed in the community, but maybe we underestimated how much we were needed, and that's a good feeling. It's definitely, stamped us solidly into the community, which is good.
What would you say some of your highlights are for this year?
I think, just thinking about the numbers, I think we're over 300 young people and their guardians helped now. And when I think about that sort of visually, it's hard to envision 300 people. I imagine 10 classrooms filled with people who were struggling, who didn't really know what to do next. So a highlight for me is knowing that all of those people got connected to something that was helpful. And some of them are doing much, much better. I mean, honestly, on a personal note, I can think of so many individual scenarios I can't share for confidentiality reasons, but there are young people that are alive today because they got the help they needed, and they will say themselves that they wouldn't be here if they hadn't got that help. How much more of a highlight do you need than that?
I would say that's the best highlight of the year, to be honest. Out of any of the organizations, making sure someone has continued life is amazing. So
it's huge. I just had a meeting with a young person who said that very thing. I said to her, hey, if you ever want to write a couple words of your thoughts about how it's been working with us at MiND-Aid, we'd love that in your words. And she's like, what, you mean I'm here because of you? I wouldn't be here if this service didn't exist. And I almost cried. I was so touched by it. And I said to her, you know what, if you were the only person we helped and I heard that come out of your mouth, I would feel like it was all worthwhile.
It's amazing. Let's talk about some of the struggles, Jody. It's, obviously everyone has been through a bit of a tough time with COVID. How have you guys, what kind of uphill battles have you faced this year?
Well, certainly we saw a lot of people that needed extra care because some services had to close their doors, and not all services were able to, meet people in the cold in a parking lot. They just didn't have the infrastructure set up. So we had to be really flexible to learn what was being done in the community and what wasn't, and where could we be most helpful? How could we connect those young people to those services that maybe didn't have that flexibility? So there were challenges in kind of morphing and changing with everything. Financing this work we do is always a challenge for sure. I'm not guaranteed a job next year unless I get those funds in place, which means a whole lot of pounding the pavement and asking folks to support the work we're doing. That's probably the biggest challenge for sure. And then on that, I would say the next big challenge is securing long-term employment so we can have staff on our team that can stay with us. So telling them I can't guarantee them a job next year doesn't make them want to work for MiND-Aid. So that's a challenge too, for sure.
Well, let's look ahead to 2022. Is there anything in particular that you feel is something you're looking forward to for next year?
Absolutely. We've been busy not only helping our clients, but my partner Desiree and I have been doing some training behind the scenes because we want to help our community learn more about mental health and be helpers themselves. And so we did some training in mental health first aid, which means in the new year, we're going to get ready to start teaching mental health first aid in the community. And we're hoping to get some funding so that type of training is something anyone can go to, even if they can't afford it. We want to sponsor folks to have that training. So that's a big deal for us. And then the other training we did was Safe Talk, which is a suicide awareness training, and another very valuable skill set for just any Joe community member to have. And I think, we're all used to taking physical CPR and it being sort of a part of the job or part of life. And some of us just do it so if a scenario pops up, we can be helpful. We should think of mental health first aid the same way. So that's our big thing we're most excited about in the new year, is getting out there and getting the community more involved so that people are more comfortable around the subject.
Jody, final words for people, heading into this holiday season. I know it's difficult, especially for people with mental health issues. What would your final comments be? And maybe if they want to get in touch as well.
Yeah, I mean, certainly people should never be ashamed when they're struggling. We're never ashamed when we have a disease or we break our knee. So you shouldn't be ashamed when you are struggling mentally, and reach out. There are wonderful organizations in the community that can help. MiND-Aid can help, but tell your friends and family, people who support you when you're struggling too. We are all in this together in different ways. So I think now is the time to show that spirit of the holiday season, and support one another, and ask for help if you need it. And we're available, so we're not closing down over Christmas. So if you need something from us, we'll get back to you, and we'll help figure out your goals and needs and work alongside you to get those things done.